first of all, mid-February, the real estate board showed 50% more new listings that hit the market. Did you see have you been seeing more signs yourself, Curtis, and just notice that?
Absolutely. Not so much in my neighborhood, but around the radio station here and in my old neighborhood, as I went to get gas the other at the gas station there were like 3 signs up in that neighborhood. So, yeah, there's definitely a few more signs popping up.
Oh, we're typically, I don't know, a couple listings a week. I've had like more than 5, and every single day looking at offers. And actually, I just listed one nearby you off Sandstone.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
Yes.
Those are the houses with the huge properties.
Oh, yes, over 23,000 square feet. So we'll talk about that later, about the new listings, but that just hit the market, and there's an open house this weekend and everything. So, but it's gorgeous. Yeah, really nice one. But you know what? Sellers and buyers have been having this fatigue. I call it seller's fatigue because they've been scared to sell without finding a place or knowing what they'd be able to get into simultaneously while selling. So that's been a big fatigue, especially those in like land assemblies or in situations where they need to make sure they find a place before they sell. It's really hard to do in this market. So there's been the seller's fatigue, but buyer's fatigue, of course, because their emotions have been up and down with missing out on every single one they try for it. And here they're giving up inspections, they're giving up all these the careful things that you want to have your buyer's due diligence, that is BC, that is the rules. And so they've been giving up all those abilities to try to put in subject-free offers just to lose them. So we've got these buyer fatigue. But just in the last weekend and this week, actually, I had clients, buyers specifically, say, Michelle, we're going to hold off because we feel like the market's going to be better for us in a couple months. And if that's happened to me a few times this week, then it's definitely happened to many other realtors as well. And so I've seen that shift. Buyers kind of holding off, waiting to look to see if there's a day set for time and day for looking at any and all offers on a listing. They're waiting. They're waiting it out. I had a listing presentation set for one of my new listings every day last week, every single day. And what happened? Well, we sold all of them. However, and all for asking price or a little over a couple of them, but a couple of them had subjects and it wasn't in multiple offers. Me, along with so many other realtors in the Fraser Valley, have seen the shift just in the past week and a half. And it is due because most sellers are starting to feel a little more confident. They're wanting to get ahead of the spring market. And even I've told a lot of my clients, get ahead of the spring market, maybe list in mid-February to end of February, and that would be really good. And a lot of people have thought that way. So we're seeing that. So spring has definitely sprung. And, but what does that look like moving forward? Because we've got interest rates set to start rising next week, 0.25% next month in March, and we've got that happening a couple more times this year. So, you know what? Less multiple offers. So that's pretty much what we're seeing. Buyers holding off a little bit longer, more listings to choose from. So sellers will have to and should start understanding that this shift has started. And they did say that the real estate market was going to rise a bit over 5% this year, but that is in the first quarter of the year. I honestly believe it's not going to continue rising throughout the year, especially with interest rates going up. So before I get ahead of myself, I wanted to say the economists are saying that, of course, the market is still going to be strong in 2022 and that it's going to start really correcting more in 2023. They also are saying, and they're kind of all over the place between like 16% to 30% of a correction that may happen. The industry, those in the business, are saying probably 15 to 18% or so. And typically, I've studied the local real estate market since the early 1900s, and typically we go down 10 to 12% after a big hike. So that's the normal correction. But this time, we had such a higher hike than we ever have seen before. I mean, it's like 200% in the last few years. That's extreme. So we've had an extreme hike, Now, if it's even 30% correction, it seems extreme to say 30% lower than we are now, but it's not that extreme when you look at it, that it's gone up about 100% in the last couple to 3 years. So you kind of have a look at it. I call the last 2 years the largest hike that we've ever seen, the COVID market hike. That's what I call it. But I'm concerned about the market due to the way the government creates these corrections. So after every hike, the government implements new taxes. They did it with the property transfer tax, and the last correction, they did it with the foreign buyer's tax and the empty home tax. Now they're talking about taxing your primary residence with a capital gains tax. So along with, of course, the rising of the interest rates, which always coincides with the taxes that they implement in order to cause the correction. So they cause us to pay more money, and they think that saves us money. I don't know how that works. I mean, they make trillions of dollars in property transfer tax every year. They're already making money on our primary home. They're already making that property transfer tax. They get that. They make money on our homes by the buyers paying that for every property they purchase. So it's not like they're not getting money from our primary home. It's the only thing we actually have that's a positive investment that's not taxed on. It's the only thing is the roof, the primary, our home, the roof over our heads and our family's home where love is and where we raise our children. It's the only thing we have that we can actually sell and not be taxed on. And now they're wanting to take that away. So as you can see, I'm very upset about that tax, and I'm passionate about doing what I can to go to our MPs, MLAs, everyone we can to try to stop that. Because if they implement it the way they did with the foreign buyers tax, watch out, it's going to be scary. So they hopefully will not do that. And you know what? All of our listeners, if you want to listen to next week's show, because this really goes hand in hand with this show, next week is our stat show. So even though mid-February has shown 50% more listings on the market all of a sudden, we will really see the stats next week on our show. And we have a guest, Jessica Oates from Harmony Mortgage, and it's a division of Dominion Lending, and she's going to be with us to prepare us for what's to come with the interest rate hikes and how we can best and the wisest way we can either purchase a home or refinance a home. And she's going to share with us some tips on that next week.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we're getting pretty close to time here, so we should probably take a break. If people want more information about what you do as a realtor and maybe to see your listings and things like that, where can they go?
MicheleCummins.ca.
And we're back with more right after this.